Um, One of the things that we've heard online is that it's the growth in Kootenai County that's driving rates up. That the growth is impacting their rates. And what sort of response do you have to that?
I would have to say patently untrue. And here's the reason for that. I mentioned earlier we were growing between 800 to 1,200 customers per year. And most of our load, about 70 to 75% of our load, is residential in nature. So what that looks like for us is subdivision growth. And it's true. And I know many in the community are frustrated by the congestion that that growth has caused to roads. It's caused to our schools. It is noticeable. But for electric utility, when we expand into a subdivision, the developer of that subdivision is responsible for paying for the cost of the facilities necessary to serve that development. So the growth of that development pays for the growth of that development. So that is not a factor that is influencing our rates. In fact, maybe something that's influencing our rates even more is aging infrastructure. If you're in a home that was built 30 years ago, the transformer that's serving your home or the wires that is extending service needs to be upgraded. It needs to be maintained. And the cost of replacing that over time is baked into our rates. So that does have a cost pressure. So I could almost make the case that low growth really helps us spread our fixed costs over a larger footprint and helps keep our rates otherwise lower than they otherwise would. Growth in our case is actually a good thing. Now, one other factor about growth is that growth is contributing to some of the rate pressures that we're seeing. And I'm going to talk a little bit more later in this podcast, but it's not our growth. It's growth that is occurring across the entire Pacific Northwest that is the issue that we need to be mindful of.
So to sum it up, local growth is actually good. And I've seen that in my financial models when I adjust how many new meters we add a year, and when I decrease that, it has a negative effect on our future rates. So I know that's what's going on. But growth in the region, that is the challenge right now.
Yeah, and it's because we can design our rates and our member extension costs to cover our own local growth. We have very little control in how our rates are influencing regional growth.